when they're ready. They go live when it's 11:30. Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Jen LeClaire.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Tom Shampoo.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, and I'm hardwired in with the sound effects tonight. We're ready to go. We're upgraded. We're ready.
All right, awesome.
Nice. I didn't realize that. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
A technological advancement for LTMM. That's the way to be.
To be hardwired from Wi-Fi back to hardwiring. Got it, on it.
So Tom Catalini, Tom Shampoo, and how about Tom Brady? Did you guys watch the Super Bowl?
I did. Yeah, I did.
I was in and out. I watched it kind of back and forth. But the question I always ask everybody. So now, some people are sort of still solid Patriots fans. Other people are Brady fans and kind of followed him over there. What about, do you guys? I kind of don't care that much.
I'm not really a huge sports guy, but Tom Brady is just amazing looking. Yeah. He's fit. He's I mean, he's the whole package.
How come you don't have a poster of him on your back wall?
It's on order. It's on. There's an Etsy shop I dialed into Sunday night during the game.
Steve Cazella's being replaced.
That's right.
by Tom Brady. It is impressive.
I'm impressed by Tom Brady. I'm happy that he has success down in Tampa Bay. It's great. Yeah. Here's one of the stats that kind of stands out for me. Joe Montana has always been the benchmark for the best quarterback of all time. Joe Montana retired at age 38, I believe, having won 4 Super Bowls and 3 MVPs. Tom Brady has won 4 Super Bowls after the age of 37.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
It's kind of a staggering stat. So I feel like you have to be impressed by that, I think.
Yeah, agree.
In the last 20 years, he's gone to 50% of the Super Bowls. One out of two, he's gone to.
Yeah.
And he's won 33% of them.
Yeah.
But like Tom Shampoo, he gets younger every year.
Oh, look at that.
Right. That's true.
And I share the same.
Yeah, it was fun. What else did you guys like about it, or ads, blah blah blah, anything?
Yeah.
I literally have nothing to contribute. I'll stay on the internet.
Yeah. We had a busy day, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But so I was kind of in and out. But I did tune in for the first time ever. There was poetry at the Super Bowl, so that's the win for me. Like that's amazing. So.
And also the Melrose connection, right? So there are a lot of Patriots. Bob Kraft, he likes to go down to Florida every now and then anyway, and he got the plane. And he got 76 healthcare workers, but the news story was out of Melrose Wakefield Hospital. One of the nurses there went, and so I thought that was a good, solid Melrose connection.
It felt like it was the right thing to do to bring those people down. I'm sorry that it wasn't more than 76, but it was a good thing to do. It was a good story. Thrilled that somebody from Melrose Wakefield was able to go. I think you're right. It was a different day, a different game in some ways. I feel like it's becoming more and more overstuffed every year. It's hard to watch some years just because of the way they produce the whole thing. It's not trim and slim like LTMM is, for example.
Right.
Oh, I think this might be the first year or second year we've lived in Melrose, or we haven't had you all over to my house.
I was going to say, I don't know
the Hammer's house.
If I'm not in your basement, exactly.
I was still wondering what was missing.
even my kids, even Rosie was like, "Oh, that's fun. We can't do that." Yeah. So anyway, all right. We should move on. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh, happening in town. There's news north, south, east, and west around this town, and Sam Hammer's going to kick it off with the latest vaccination stories.
The latest of not news.
I am. I'm going to put up our warning banner right now before I begin. So yes, Melrose has rolled out COVID-19 vaccinations for Melrosians 75 and older. So that will be happening on Wednesday, February 17th between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. I'm going to post the actual factual website for you to get all the information. But I did want to point out while I'm doing that, well, you could book appointments by phone. You can book appointments online. You can hitch a ride. And let's see. If you are interested in volunteering, you can volunteer to actually help organize and do stuff around the vaccination rollout.
Boots on the ground, sure.
Boots on the ground. So that's pretty awesome. I'm very happy to see that. And then there's a way to sign up for email updates. So I'm going to put all of that factual information in our Facebook post. But yes. I'm glad to see it's finally rolling. Let's roll.
So we encourage all of our viewers 75 and older to get down there right away. We need as many viewers as we can to stay healthy and engaged. Where's Cazella on the list? Is he 75 yet? Or 70?
74. I think he's got
74. So okay, he's not quite there yet. Okay.
He can't defend himself, so we can say anything we want.
he's nowhere to be found right now.
Right.
Poor thing. And also, do we want to talk a quick second about, I know there's been conversation in the weeks leading up to this about the boots on the ground side of things versus the technology side of things. The volunteer boots on the ground stuff has been going really, really well. The technology piece has been criticized in Massachusetts, and then lo and behold, leave it to an engineering mom on maternity leave to just handle stuff. There was some news about this last week. There was a woman in Wakefield named Olivia. Oh no, sorry, she's in Arlington. We thought Wakefield. She's from Arlington. She's an engineer. She's also a mom who was on maternity leave. And in the 3 weeks of her maternity leave, she built a website that shows all available appointments, vaccination appointments throughout Massachusetts. And I think she was hoping the governor's office was going to contact her. It's just amazing to me. So funny.
Yeah, it was great. And so I saw her interviewed on CNN. I don't know why she opted for that versus LTMM, but it was an interesting story, and she had the skills and put them to use. I think she's got a 2-year-old and a newborn.
Wow.
And,
she was on maternity leave.
Yeah, right. And so I guess, late at night or whatever, but she put like 30, 40 hours of work into this and did what we say in the industry is screen scraping. Going out and having the computer read all these websites and then aggregate the data. So it was really just a great idea to basically simplify the process, because it's too decentralized. Everybody's got their own website. Anyway, it was great. It was great to see how one person can make a difference if they take the initiative and lean into it a little bit. And this is actually popping up across the country now. So a bunch of stories out of New York now, and people are just kind of stepping up and trying to make it easier somehow in the planning or lack of planning for the vaccination rollout. That's just was missed by, I guess it's been a kind of uncoordinated effort for a bit. So anyway, nice to see people. And I saw a guy, read about a guy interviewed in New York, and it was interesting because he was like, hey, this is what I could do to help. And it's a community effort to kind of if everybody chips in a little bit, just like Sam was talking about, go volunteer at the vaccination site or whatever. So we can all do something to help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good. What else? Tomcat, you wanna bring us through what's going on at the schools in terms of not vaccinations yet, but testing. We're not there yet.
So what we're going to do with the school system is we're going to implement a system of pool testing, which I've been asked to explain to the viewers.
Can we put the ticker tape up again?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Please get that up ASAP. So because I really don't know what's going on at the schools, but I do understand that pool testing is when you all spit in a jar and they test the jar. And if it's negative, then everybody's off the hook. If it's positive, they somehow can tell of you had it, or they go back and reach those tips. But there's some economies of scale that improve the cost and the turnaround time for test results. But I don't know exactly what they're doing at the school. I know they talked about this recently, that this was going to help.
So
make
it cheaper and faster.
Science with Tom Catalini. Help us out here.
Everybody's
I'm riveted. It's so fascinating.
Spit in a jar.
That's the concept. I'm not giving you the technical details. I don't want to weigh you down with that.
Gotcha.
But conceptually, you pass the jar when everybody spits in it, and then we can tell whether, that group represented by the jar has COVID or not.
I feel like we have Dr. Fauci in our midst here. This is just such a joy, man.
This is amazing.
Well, I like to, share what I know.
So some students are getting saliva swabs. Some students are getting nasal swabs. So I'm going to put the details up here. But yes. Thanks, Bill.
But I did. Yeah, we are starting to get messages. The superintendent sent something out. You have to sort of opt in and give consent for your students to be tested. They've kind of redone all of that. So it's coming.
And there was a new consent form. The thing that I wanted to mention is there was a new consent form that was just mailed out at 4:00 today. I'm going to put the link to that because as things are happening, things shift, and you need to fill out another consent form. So I'm going to put that link up.
Agreed. We went to try to do that, and it was then as soon as we did that, there was another notice on right on Aspen when you get there that says actually it's broken. Come back later. Keep trying.
Yes, and I'm not that used to Aspen, so there were a lot more instructions, but
keep trying. That's tricky, but we do appreciate all the work that they're doing at the schools, and we appreciate the teachers and all the workers. And how are we going to show them that, Sam?
So good question.
I love a parade.
I was totally paying attention. So it is February break is almost upon us, everybody. And I don't know about you, but I'm freaking out. The other thing I'm doing is I am thanking the teachers who have been doing this very difficult work with our students all year. They have been working very hard to do their profession in a totally new way. So some groups around town, including Sheila Gausch, who is our guest from CPAC tonight, got together and has organized a Melrose Schools Community Appreciation event, which will be this Thursday at 1:30 on Lynn Fells, right outside the high school. Make a poster, come and thank those teachers. Again, this is about the teachers, the people who are in the classrooms doing the work. I am so grateful that they're there and they're working really hard for us. So I'll put that event in there too.
That sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, happy to do that.
Is there going to be a snowstorm on Thursday though, Tom? Or I'm sorry, you only tell us about the weather that's happening right now.
Yes, exactly. No. Don't push me in the future.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Right now it's not snowing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Gotta get that covered.
Weather now with Tom Sham.
But Tom can also tell us what's happening over at the Milano Center.
Yeah. So we just got this news today, right? So this came across the wires. It came across our ticker a little while ago. The LTMM wires, which we pay dearly for, by the way. Yeah. So here's the information we got. It's a little graphic for everyone to see. Valentines is coming up. It's this weekend. The Milano Senior Center is putting the request out if people want to make Valentine's cards. They're going to distribute them out to others, to some of the seniors here in Melrose. I feel like it's a great thing to do. It's such a nice thought. And if parents are home this week with their kids, or if they're at school, whatever, when they get home later on, have the kids make a few cards, bring them down to the Milano Senior Center. I think it's really a joy for the seniors to get cards like this and to have a way to connect to others in the community. So I think it's fantastic, and I encourage everyone to make some cards. And
I'm going to suggest, if you can, exactly what you just said, make the card. A little hand drawing, forget this. You could, if you want to shop local and get on a CVS or wherever and grab a card, that's great. But get a blank sheet of paper maybe and draw a little something on there.
Oh, I'm so glad you're telling us how to do this, Tom, because
they have no idea.
I have successfully just completed 40 freaking Valentines. So there are some viewers out there who are not into the Valentines. I do love Valentine's Day, but it is a heightened alert, red flag moment for Some parents, not all parents, obviously, in the house. 40 Valentines.
You're in the thick of it. That's why.
40 Valentines. In
Valentine assembly.
Yeah.
Valentine assembly line.
It's a bizarre holiday of them.
It
really is odd.
But it is odd. But all these, they're all invented by Hallmark and stuff like that. That's fine. But
just like Groundhog Day.
Just like Groundhog Day. But in this case. Let's not go there again.
I know we're not going to go.
But I would say though that this week in this moment right now in Melrose, I would fully support it for two reasons. One, our seniors, the holidays are over. It's winter. It's cold. We're still in we're still in the pandemic, so they're isolated and it's dark out. So our seniors could use the pick me up like that. But it also gives your kids something like tangible and hands-on and creative.
You know what I might do? I might send one in on the 15th when they least expect it, like when it all dies down.
Yeah,
always keep them guessing,
right?
Always keep them guessing, Tom.
Tom's card will say, "I still love you even today."
Yes,
right. I don't
even more today.
Yeah,
we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do it. We'll keep it going the whole week.
Sounds good.
So I really quickly want to tell you guys part of the reason that I was in and out and not paying a ton of attention on during the Super Bowl and also speaking of kids and creativity. So this weekend, the whole weekend was the official kind of virtual tournament or part of the official virtual tournament for the Destination Imagination program that my kids do, or one of my kids now at this point. So Melrose has a program and it's a STEAM-based program. I've talked about it on the show. We've had some of the kids on the show before. And this year, we normally have about 12 or so teams in Melrose. A lot of kids weren't able to do it this year, or parents couldn't coach. It was just too hard. But we did have 5 teams this year. So I just want to commend those kids for kind of sticking to it and sticking with the program under difficult circumstances. They had to normally they would do all this stuff in person and they get to like build things together and kind of do these like improv skits together in front of a live appraiser audience. And this year they had to do all of that virtually. So, figuring out how to do storytelling like this on Zoom, figuring out their teamwork, editing videos and submitting the videos. So they worked on it actually all weekend. And I'm just really proud of them.
Was there homework to watch this show, like the old archive footage, just to get a sense of the...
I can't tell you. So there's 2 pieces of the challenge. They work on their central challenge, which is their choice. They work on that over like a period of a few months. That they have to turn that in another month. But the instant challenge is something that it's like it's a surprise. So they don't know what it's going to be. So they were given the challenge on Friday and had to turn something in by Sunday night. And it's top secret. So the same different kids and different teams are working throughout the state of Massachusetts on these challenges and throughout the country actually. And so it's totally top secret. I can't tell you what they had to do.
All right. So, we can't wait to, well, give us an update on a future show, please.
I will. So kudos to all of them.
Yes.
Also, oh my God, there's so much going on. Will everybody just slow down? It is literally winter. Can we just take a break? But on February 7th, we don't slow down. On February 17th, the Melrose Democratic City Committee is hosting an event called Anti-Racism Activism in Melrose. It's a panel discussion. There are multiple groups out in our city that are doing anti-racist activist work, and they want to share the work that they've been doing and try to include more people in the discussion. So I will put that event in our Facebook post as well. It's on Zoom, so you don't need to be on Facebook to attend, but it should be good because we have great people doing awesome stuff here.
We do, and one of them is going next level on us. So Lauren Grimmick, who is the executive director of the Melrose Chamber of Commerce, is ending her 5-year tenure and moving up to become executive director at the Mass Women's Forum. So Lauren's been on this show. She's just been a great asset to the community. She's the host of the Chamber Chat series, also on MMTV, and she's just done a lot of great things in those 5 years. Just endless enthusiasm and really been a champion of business in Melrose and Melrose in general. She's a Melrosian herself, and so we wish her the best in this new position. And apparently, her assistant director. I'm sorry, I'm not. correct on the title, but Jennifer Manning is apparently stepping into the role. And so we'll look forward to, I don't know Jennifer, so I look forward to maybe seeing if she'll come on the show and tell us what's going to happen and how she's going to kind of bring it to the next level. So best of luck, Lauren.
Yeah. And Jennifer. And
Jennifer. And Melrose.
Yes, we look forward to lobbying you very hard, Jennifer.
Yeah. Right. Oh, you know what? It would be good to add to Chamber News. They actually issued a newsletter today. So you can actually be, yes, Kathy, that's true. Lauren's great. You can actually now be an individual member of the Chamber. That's new. They had that came out about a month ago, I think, or maybe in the last newsletter. So they have a new membership level and their annual meeting. So check it out. Check out their website. And their annual meeting is February 25th. And I think they're voting on a new board and things like this. So.
Wait, what do you mean an individual? Like you don't have to own a business, you can just show up?
Yeah, like I can join. Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I count 4 of us. That's
because
4
you need more to do, Sam, right?
Right.
Hey, as long as I'm going to send in my votes and
right.
Well, no, LTMM needs to be represented on there. I mean, with the mugs and the merch, and I mean, there's business opportunities are almost limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah.
And forward that email.
I want to push us along a little bit because we have a guest, so I want to make sure we save time for the guests that we have here. So.
All right, we're going to cut out the weather segment and we'll wrap it up with Jen's update on the Melrose Cultural Council.
Oh, okay. Wait. I was going to say that we could wait on that, but we can wait on that.
All right, let's bring in our guest. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Nice.
Oh, it is so much fun to have Sheila in the house.
Yes.
She is a citywide known activist with CPAC, the Special Education. It's not a political action committee; it's a parent action. What is it?
Parent Advisory Council.
Yeah.
Thank you. And they do a lot of work in the district, making sure that they advocate for what students actually need. They need special accommodations, but also she's taken it to the next level with her work at the state. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I know it's like, where do you start? There's so much Sheila's up to and so she's good. But what about the legislation at the state level that happened recently? Maybe we could start there with the Pandas. If you could just share with us briefly, what it is and what happened.
Sure. So, so I I helped bring forward legislation. It had actually been through the State House 3 other sessions prior to us. So we were the 4th go round to try to get it over the finish line. And it was an insurance mandate for Pandas, which is pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric syndrome and pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep. So it's basically a misdirected autoimmune response as a result of a viral or infectious trigger that causes a whole host of neuropsychiatric issues such as really significant OCD, separation anxiety, trouble sleeping, can disrupt school. So both of my children have it, and I kind of joined up with some other moms, and with now Mayor Broder, who was Representative Broder, as well as Senator Lewis, helped bring the legislation forward, and we got it over the finish line on January 1st. It's really exciting. So
what does the legislation do? What wasn't there before, and what's new and better now?
Yeah, so this illness is not super well recognized, and so it's in the rare disease category. And what parents or caregivers aren't able to get for their children was this more advanced treatment called IVIG, which is like a plasma treatment that's commonly used in different autoimmune illnesses. And so the children who kind of aren't able to regain health with like antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, which are kind of the frontline treatment, or steroids, need this more advanced treatment. And it costs about $30,000. So a lot of families were paying out of pocket. We had a hearing last July, And many families showed up saying, they had, lost their homes. They had, basically had to pay to get this really crucial treatment that insurance companies weren't covering. So insurance mandates are notoriously difficult in Massachusetts to get passed. The last one that passed was the Lyme bill. So,
so the legislation then now requires all the carriers in Massachusetts to cover that treatment?
Correct. Yes.
Wow, that's a huge win. That's
that is huge. Yeah.
Yep. So we had, one of my friends was just joking because I was really nervous to come on here, as I already told all of you. But she was saying, like, you got this. You run up against the insurance boards. So,
right. Yeah, we're easy.
Zoom calls with the insurance carriers in Massachusetts trying to plead our case. So,
we're a little less intimidating. But.
Dump's a teddy bear compared to the insurance companies.
But earlier, you mentioned at the school committee meeting tonight that your daughter was recognized by the superintendent. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So both my kids have suffered from Pandas, and both of them were out of district placed, and they both just recently came back to the district about a year and a half ago. So Abby, who's a senior at Melrose High, actually really did a great piece of work for the legislation in that she spoke at the 2020 Awareness Day, and she was interviewed for some newspaper articles really telling her story. So the superintendent and Melrose Public Schools was kind enough to recognize her, so she got to be at school
That's
committee.
Fantastic.
Really
Yeah, you're incredible, and your reputation does precede you. And so I'd love to hear. It's very true. But you also do a lot of work through CPAC and have a very strong voice there. We have a few neighbors that are also really advocating along with you. Can you tell us a little bit more about what CPAC's work has been like during this quarantine shutdown situation when it's already hard to get services for our students? So what has that been like for you guys?
Yeah, so it's definitely, we've done a lot since the shutdown. We did a lot of, we switched to, sorry, I'm trying to get my words together. We switched to a WebEx platform, which truthfully for us was a total game changer because I think it just allows access, right? I mean, I don't think we considered that piece that, we usually had maybe 4 or 5 people show up to our open meetings, right? Once a month. And with WebEx, we had, I think at one of the meetings in the spring, we had like 60 people, which was insane. Great. Like we had not that many people. So it's actually, I think there aren't really any blessings of a pandemic, right? But like one of the, the wins is that we figured out that this platform is really great for our members to be able to access us more. So we've done a lot of work bringing in Patty White Lambright, now Superintendent Kuchenberger, to kind of do forums for our parents, because it is incredibly stressful. It's really, we talk a lot as a group about how scary it is for, caregivers who have fought so hard to get their students the supports that they need, only to have to be actively watching them regress, and how, it's really stressful. And everyone's regressing right now, so that's not kind of a it's not a special ed parent phenomenon, right? But for people who have really been really concerned about their children's progress and have fought so hard to kind of get these services, to see them slipping backwards is really scary. So definitely doing a lot of work of just fielding emails and phone calls and, trying to host forums to let people know they're supported. And
wow.
Are there specific things that you found that you've been advocating for this year? We've been complaining a lot about virtual school already, but I think, do you have anything extra that you've been advocating for?
Yeah, so definitely when we went out, our members were really talking a lot about the need for the one-to-one services to be synchronous, which they weren't in the spring, but they have since been. So that's been really great. That I feel like we have a really good relationship with the administration, so which is really helpful. So we can kind of bring our concerns and. And that's my neighbor. Sorry. So yeah, so I would say like at first it was really like making sure like students who needed reading specialists and social pragmatic support and all of that kind of were able to continue with their one-to-one services. I would say I just wrote a letter to school committee from me personally, but it was really kind of a combination of all of everything I've heard from CPAC, which is really making sure that we're prioritizing special education in the budget right now, just because we like the evaluation numbers are up. Like, you know, there's I'm also a special ed administrator, so I just know that, you know, when things like this happen, people are more likely going to be asking for more evaluations and asking for more support, because obviously this is a really tough time for everyone, and they may be seeing their children regress and saying like they need more support. So really prioritizing special education and mental health, because mental health is struggling right now for everyone.
Sheila, I have a comment, not a question, just very quickly. We started the show a couple of years ago over drinks and talking about the ways that we could communicate what's going on in Melrose and share our love for the community and share the ways that the community is better every year, or that we hope it's better every year. And then the thing that the show can do is to bring people like you on to tell others who don't know what's going on in the community what is actually going on. And for all the parents who don't live the world that you live in, this is just an incredible story. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that we have a platform to tell the rest of the city the work that you are doing and the work that your colleagues are doing and the ways that you're trying to make Melrose a better community. So thank you so much for all of that. It's really impressive, and I'm really, really glad to have you on tonight. So thank you again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Agreed.
And no offense to all of our other guests, but you've absolutely gotten the most shout outs. Of all of them.
I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody's tuning in to say what a rock star you are. We have to concur. Yeah. Thank you so much for the work that you do in our community.
and so maybe along those lines, it would be interesting. Like, I don't know how many students are considered special ed. What are the range of challenges they may face, or like anything to educate us about a little bit more about that community, or your view from CPAC or the view you want the administration to have. Can you give us any sense of that?
Sure. So I don't actually know the numbers. That's a really great question. I should know. I think CPAC probably should know the numbers, but I don't know them off the top of my head. I would say like it might be helpful for people to know that CPAC is actually mandated under federal, it's called IDEA special ed legislation. So our group is kind of connected to where our role is to advise the school committee and the administration on kind of all things that are going on for students in special education. So every district has one. We're not unique. And so we're kind of part of the school administration. So I would say, you know, there's a wide range of issues that students might have, whether it ranges from like a specific learning disability to an intellectual or neurological disability, or, you know, obvious social emotional learning. There's a wide range of different disabilities categories through the Department of Ed that you might qualify for an IEP under. But we also service students who are on 504s. So a 504, you might have an accommodation, like where you're located, you might need to sit a little closer to the board, or you might need, you know, notes written out. An IEP is actually modifying the curriculum in some way. So you might have kind of pullouts for specific reading, or you might have a counseling session. And they're actually modifying the curriculum to support.
Okay, as a parent, I've come across 504 and IEP, so that would define that's who the special ed students would be on one of those or the other. Okay, interesting. Yes. So, Sheila, I think you know my son, Alec. He recently started as a paraprofessional.
I know, I saw that.
I heard. Yeah, congratulations.
And he's working in the special ed area over at Roosevelt 101 with a student, or he's being trained to do that when I think somebody else goes on maternity leave. So starting to see it from that angle a little bit, and it's just really encouraging. I think he seems to enjoy it and get a lot out of it, and it seems like he's making a real contribution. So it's kind of exciting to see it from that angle as well. So, but
It's really great because, Melrose has historically really prioritized students being in the home community, in their home community, and included in the classroom settings, which is great. I think that's really where our focus, or CPAC's focus, but also my focus in particular, particularly having two of my children who had to be out of district placed, which is really challenging. I also am the principal of one of those out of district placements, so I kind of am keenly aware of what happens when students have to leave their home communities, right, to access services. So I think the goal right now is really to make sure that special education is well funded, and programs are put in place so that students can stay in their home communities, like stay in those programs that Alec is part of right now, right, and be supported with the community.
That's awesome. That's
great.
So you mentioned historic Melrose. How long have you lived here?
Oh, well, I have lived here, oh gosh, it's 20 years. Yep, my husband grew up here. So I grew up in Winchester, so not far away. I'm still
right.
very far.
Yeah. No, Gary, you still live in Russell Park. Strong
Yep.
Russell Park connection.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not far from where we are now. So he didn't move very far away.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So have you seen another public access television station and podcast quite like this before?
No.
That's the right answer.
I feel like
I'm
picking up the Catalini vibe tonight.
Well, that's good news for everybody. But they ain't got, Winchester's nice, whatever, but they ain't got local access like at Melrose.
Not scrappy like we are, and they certainly don't dance the way we do.
No,
Yes.
you guys can't. Which was very intimidating for me because I don't have much rhythm. So.
Everyone has rhythm for this show.
We're about to find out.
You've seen the show before, right? But it is time to say goodnight to the Melrosians all over the world. And Sheila, again, thank you for all that you do and for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And sharing that with our audience. And so with that, I think we're going to say to everybody, we'll see you around town.
See you around town, everybody.